Good afternoon, everyone. I'm your host, Nikita Ross, the Fearless Female, and today I'm here with two fashionistas and powerhouses, Najla and Maze. Hello, ladies.
Hey.
Hey.
Good. They are the co-owners of Enstyle, so today they will share with us their journey as entrepreneurs and also the benefits and what is needed in order to have a healthy partnership in business. So how long have you ladies been in business?
6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
So this month is your 6th anniversary.
Yes.
And so how did you decide let's go into business together?
We actually didn't know each other, and we met at the hair salon. So, weren't we supposed to? We were supposed to partner with our hairstylist, and she called me one day and she said, well, when we discussed it, I was like, oh, that's something I would be interested in. And she said, well, I'm leaving to go to Egypt. How long were you leaving?
I think it was gone 3 weeks. I was in Dubai and I called and I said, when I get back, I'm going to open a boutique. Are you ready or not?
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, let me ask my husband at the time. And came back in a week, found a spot in Rice Village and signed the lease. And here we are 6 years later. She hasn't killed me and I haven't killed her. So it's working.
And just, I guess the beauty of it all is perfect strangers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Perfect strangers. But the beauty of a partnership, I think about my mom and myself, in order to have a partnership, you have to have mutual respect.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Respect
number one.
is number one.
Number one. And then recognizing your strengths
Mm-hmm.
and knowing where you're weak and letting your partner do that. You know, my mom and I, we're very good at that. Like, no, she knows this, she does this, and this is what I do. Separating and delegating.
Yes.
We've never talked about our roles. In 6
Never?
years.
No.
Never. I'm not going to do the emails. I'm not going to
It's
do
like
the
she's not
back-end
tech
stuff.
savvy. So I kind of know that I handle the back end stuff, and she's more
I'll deal with
of
the money. I'll deal with the vendors.
Yeah.
I'll talk. I'll,
yeah.
you know.
It's like an unspoken word. Like we never had to. It's like when we first started, we both just did whatever needed to be done, but we saw what each of us was good at, and we were just like, okay, well, I'll do the, not. Not
But you're
saying,
good at taking pictures.
No, I'm not. Like I will not model. I will not take the pictures. I am the photographer.
I've been begging.
But
That's why I said
she's
that.
the model.
But let's say this. Okay, so even though your roles are really defined, y'all just haven't discussed them.
Exactly.
Correct.
But the funny thing is, in a partnership, and it's amazing to me when I see Maze on the pictures, and I know it's a mutual understanding. Don't you know that would be a problem with other people? Why she got to be the face? But if you know that that's her strong suit, she
That's
gets
not
the
us.
light.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But you
No,
know
I
what I'm
love that.
saying?
She was just always good at it. Like when I tried, one of the customers was like, Najla, why do you always look stuck? And I was like, 'Cause I don't even know what to do. I don't want to do it. She was just more natural at it. And I was just like, okay, even if she turn her head this way, that way, it always comes out good. Me, I just look like, what am I supposed to be doing?
I'm
So
all for a
it
group
just-
picture.
Yeah,
Of me.
exactly. Or some
I'm,
candid.
yes.
Like if you
And me
catch
look
me
up-
off guard,
yes.
yeah. But
Yes.
she has it. It worked.
And it's a gift. It
Yeah.
really is. Everybody can't take pictures like that. I always say my friend Relita, LaShonda, Candice, like they do it. Jada, me, I'm like looking awkward. Jada, like drop your chin.
Yeah.
You like,
Well, if you ever notice, there's a reason I look to the side and have on sunglasses. You sort of can't mess that up.
yeah, but I mean, it's work though.
Yeah.
So I get it, Najla.
Yeah.
I will be the one too saying, let me be the photographer.
Yeah,
You
I'll
got
take
it.
that part.
As long
yeah.
as the stuff moving, we getting profit. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
me. Right?
exactly.
So now, 6 years later, you already understand your roles and what you're good at, what you're good at. Your third location. And how does that work? How do you know when to move? When you found your location in Rice, what attracted you to that location initially?
Well, when we opened our store in Rice, it was a totally different business structure. Our dresses were $1,000. Our shirts were $300. We wanted to have really high-end exclusive pieces. After a year, we realized, okay, this isn't working. It was good for the first few months because we were the new boutique. We weren't oversaturated at that time. There wasn't a boutique on every corner. It wasn't 10,000 million trillion online boutiques. It worked for 2 months, and then we weren't that new boutique anymore, and reality kicked in, and it didn't work. And I'm quick at if it didn't work, we're going to try something else. And then we were going to close, and I refused to fail at anything. So,
and we had a mold problem in the bathroom at that location. It was a mold problem, and so they just let us out of our lease because they weren't trying to fix it. Or we complained.
We
times.
made sure there was a mold problem.
Yeah, exactly. I was getting sick. My allergies were bothering me on a constant basis. So,
but it wasn't working. So it's
Yeah.
time to change, and we were going to close. And I said, "Come on, let's get in the car." And I always have to convince her in a strategic way. So we got in the car. I said, let's just check our options. So we found a space on Fondren. There wasn't a sign there. I figured out who the landlord was. He was like, we don't want to rent it. And I was like, no, you're going to rent it. And I was like, you're crazy. Stop being so pushy and aggressive. And I said, can we just meet face to face? Just let's look at the space. And he was like, it's not for lease. So I got him in my face and we rented it. We got there. We stayed there 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we outgrew that space. We didn't outgrow it. It's time. I think after a time in business, you're either going to do it or you're not. And I'm big on let's roll the dice, all or nothing. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, let's do it.
And the funny thing about business is, I respect what you said. That model wasn't working anymore. So let's reevaluate this model. What can we do different? That's important because even though you're in business, and look at business models like Blockbuster, Toys R Us. These $1 million companies are going out of business, right? Because they refuse to change their model with the time.
But that's what I was going to say. Times are changing.
Times are changing. Times are constantly evolving. So you got to constantly reinvent yourself, and you got to stay relevant.
Yes.
That's the whole key. Stay fresh. Not be the old boutique. So it's like a new spot. It feels brand new again. It feels brand new to the customers. New grand opening. It's something about new.
Yes. It is. It always
for the
is.
clients.
Yes.
That's why businesses do renovations. Change their bags, change their logos, change their branding. It's something new, something fresh.
Yes.
Correct.
And I think a lot of times people get stuck and don't want to change. And so that's why businesses tend to fail and disappear. I.e. Blockbuster. People don't know that Netflix proposition Blockbuster.
And they denied it.
They
denied it, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know that technology was going to come and knock them out the box.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It happens. And you have to know your competition. Because I know for us, when we were at our last location, we had 4 boutiques on our corner.
Really?
It's like for some reason they just started moving our way.
On our corner.
Because it looked like, it does work for us, but we are who we are. So I think people were thinking because of where we're located, okay, well, let's just gravitate towards that way. Within like 2 to 3 months, maybe stayed open, maybe 6 months,
maybe,
and they were just dropping like flies. And it's like you can't try to do what we do because we've been here. We had been looking for a space for 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that, because we knew we wanted to move. But they just started saturating us. Like we were like, oh God, but we were still standing.
What's for you is for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you left the Rice area and you went to Fondren, how did your business model change from your Rice area?
Dramatically.
Yeah.
Our price point changed from $300 to $1,000 pieces to $60 to $110 dramatically, which it wasn't. We always came in business saying, for me especially when we opened, okay, well, let's go somewhere. Okay, where are you going to go get it? Where are you going to go get something to wear? We're all going to the same place. And our business structure has always been we get 6 of everything. When it's gone, it's gone. Although it's tremendously much more work for us. But like you said, people want fresh. So it's always something new every week instead of getting 50 of something. And okay, I'm going to make the money. But no, I'm too ADHD. I don't want to look at my racks to have the same things every week. So I'd rather 20 to 30 styles come in and out. Yes, it's a lot more work for me, the back end and the front end. But
more photo shoots, more Shopify, more
Yep.
uploading, more inventory, more SKUs.
more everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
I'd
easier
rather-
to get 5 styles and then 20 or 30. But I want to create that urgency. Because people know, okay, well, they have 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 2 larges. Guess what? Houston's going to see 2 or 3. The other might ship out. So if you don't get on it, it's not going to be here. And most of the time, I don't restock. And it's not me doing that. It's I don't want you to go to this gala and all 3 of us got on the same dress because we're so limited. Especially now, everything is geared towards online shopping. Well, not all bodies can shop online. I can order 50 pieces online, and I might. It's not going to work for me, so it's easier to be able to come into the store, touch it, feel it, put it on. And especially
And that's me.
Me too.
I'm that person. I need to go inside the
Me
store.
too. I don't order online.
And when I order online, I'm always shipping it back. I feel like by the time the hassle of postage, reboxing, waiting, I just rather go to the store, try it on, and figure out what. Even the reviews don't help me. They help a little bit.
But everybody's body's different.
Exactly.
Everybody's body's
The
different.
fabric
And I always
stretch
forget
differently.
to send it back. So I'm
See,
stuck with it.
Well, every now and then that's how I am too, depending on how much it is.
Yes. Oh,
And then-
yeah.
Yeah.
That
You
makes
know, the
a
price
major
point,
difference.
you like
a major
$39.99,
difference.
$19.99. When it's $199, no, it's going
Oh,
back.
Oh,
it's
It's
going
yeah.
back.
Oh,
I'ma
it's
find
making
a
it.
way.
We're gonna box that up.
Post office,
It's gonna make it to the post office.
Yeah. And then qualities. I'm big on quality. Because although, yes, I have a nice shape, but I have dimples. I have cellulite. I'm a woman. I know what it is. I don't want to see a dimple. I don't want to, if it's not good in my store, she knows it's going back. I'm not even putting it on the racks. I'm not even going to put it on the sale rack. It's just going back.
My girlfriend always sending me pictures of things. This be killing you. I said, girl, what that fabric doing? Like,
You're right,
That's
though.
for real.
But
What
that's
is
why
it?
we don't sell plus size. And we get so many people that ask us why we don't sell plus size. And it's because after you hit that large, that extra large 1X, it goes into more fabric. And so they'll tend to change the quality of the fabric. And we just don't believe in if you can't get the same thing this girl got, we're not going to sell it. Because that's what they'll end up saying. They sell cheap stuff for bigger women, and we don't want that on us.
So you want to be consistent.
Exactly.
So what is your niche? What is your specialty?
I would say every time people come in, they know where to go for party, date night, birthday. We get so many birthdays, and when celebration. We were even gonna put a rack for like celebration station because we knew when we opened what we wanted to be known for. And every woman that come in, they always say, "I know where to come for my birthday. I know where to come when I'm going out. I know where to come." And so that was our main goal. That's what we want.
And I'm saying this, and I'm saying this in a great way. You know what your boutique remind me of, BB? You remember like back in the day?
It does.
Like
I get a lot of people that tell me that.
It's like you
That
knew
was
where to
the place
go.
to go,
It was a
yes.
New Year's, no brainer, birthday, club, party. It gave you the feel where some places it's too formal.
Correct.
Too formal or too conservative. It's like you guys hit that sweet spot right in the middle.
Correct. I feel like women come to us because I feel like we make them look sexy. We make them feel sexy, whether that's in a high turtleneck shirt. It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to feel sexy in it. And I think it goes with the whole experience. A lot of my customers have become my friends. I love them. They trust me. They'll text and say, "What size?" That's it. I know them on a personal level now. So it's not just, okay, you go in there and buy a shirt or a dress, or it's the whole personal experience,
And a lot of husbands shop with us. Boyfriends, husbands, they come in personally for their wives, girlfriends. We've even had men purchase stuff for their moms. Like, they just, and again, it goes back to being sexy, because as women, we kind of get married or get in a relationship and you feel like you got to turn it down. But what we fail to realize is that man still want to see that sometimes, so that's why we haven't changed that, because I've heard so many people like, "Oh, their stuff is too sexy, it's too this, it's too that," but it works for us. Like, it just works for us.
So you guys been in business 6 years. What have been a few of your challenges being in business?
Ups and downs. Everybody looks at, I'm not going to say us, but people look at business owners like it's great to be an entrepreneur. It's great to own a business. But on the back end, it's so much more responsibility. You'll have a great month and then you'll have 2 or 3 terrible months. So then what? You still got to pay these bills. You still have to pay your own personal bills. You still have to pay these rents and insurance and all the expenses that come with it. So you have to learn. For us, we know our slow months. After 6 years, we know when it's going to go back down. We know when it comes back up. So it's just figuring out how much inventory to get on this month or this week, or you have to know your time of the months. It's a strategy, and you just have to learn it.
Even like in the hair industry, we have to, I always tell people in any business, every business has peaks and valleys, cycles. And it's like when you have those great months, you have to just store up. Don't ball out, because
you don't
ball out. Because if you're gonna feast, trust me, there's gonna be a famine.
Yes.
So it's like, get ready for that.
Absolutely.
That's so important. I think that's rule number one. When you go into business, be prepared for the ups and downs. Because when you start a new business, 2 months it was booming.
Yes.
Then month 3 or 4, it's like, wait
We're like,
a minute,
great.
Reality
We're
kicks
rich.
in. Like, whoa.
And then you're like, wait a minute, like, what happened? And it just changed your whole mood and attitude.
Correct.
Yes, it does.
And it gets too negative sometimes, but you have to get back in the role and say, okay, well, she knows. Well, I'll sit on the phone. Okay, well, what are we going to do?
Yeah,
Problem,
that's
solution,
a good thing.
we gotta
That's
figure
how
it
I
out.
feed off of her, because she knows, like, she'll text me and sometimes she'll wait, because when she gets to speak in numbers, I like slump down, like, oh God, I get nervous. And so she'll be like, okay, I know you don't want to hear this, but this is blah, blah, blah. And, she'll break everything down, but then she'll be like, okay, so what are we going to do? It's never like, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. It's like, okay, what are we going
it's
to
a
do
problem. We have to figure out a
fix
solution.
this?
That's
What are
it.
we going to do to make this? What are we going to do to reach this goal? It's always like a positive. Like we may be in a negative situation, but it always turns out to be a positive. Because honestly, with us moving this last time, she knows, I was just like,
She was like, no.
No. Like,
I was
no.
like, yes.
I was so afraid of the rent increase. I was so afraid of, and she was like, it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. It has to work. We don't have a choice. It's going to work. But then our biggest goal was to get walk traffic. And we're like in between a nail salon, like 3 or 4 restaurants, hair salon, everything. And it's like, just sitting there sometimes I'm like, oh, wow. Like it's really working. And she knows like she has to stay on me because I'll slump down like, oh, God, look at them numbers. It's like,
But I think it's good, though, because you both can be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You both can be like tripping over the numbers, but you both can be excited and want to spend. You know what I mean? It's like you need that perfect balance.
Yeah.
Like she keeps you going, but then you also keep her in reality. Okay, wait a minute, Maze, but what about this? What about that? I think it's a good, healthy balance.
Yeah, because sometimes she'll send me a lot of stuff and I'll be like, wife, because I'm the husband. We're on a budget. We have a budget. You're over the budget. I have to step in that, but we just balance each other really well. I always tell her like, for us not to have known each other, like that was the best decision I ever made, is partnering with somebody that I didn't know. Well, her.
Let's talk about that.
Anybody.
So I would be so apprehensive because I'm so big on relationships. You know what I mean? And no, I mean, you guys have the ultimate relationship right now, but I would be so afraid. How long did y'all know each other? Like a couple months?
Couple months.
So it really didn't scratch the surface much.
No.
But
But
what
I mean,
was
we had
it?
it at the
Never,
beauty
like,
shop.
hung
But
out.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah,
you knew each other face value, but it wasn't like you didn't really know any stories, scenarios.
No. Like
But
I
you
went and
go
asked
off
my
a
husband
vibe.
about her because I'm not even from here. So that was another thing. I didn't know anybody really because I'm not from here. So I was like, well, let me ask him about her. And he was like, let me ask around, So I'm like, okay. And he was like, oh, she good. And I'm like, okay. And he persuaded me. He was like, I think you should go for it. And I was like, okay. But what people don't know is Maze is Muslim and I was raised Muslim. So my dad was Muslim. So it's like a lot of our morals and core values
that's what it was for me.
and stuff like that we started to learn about each other. It was deeper than just,
It was talking at the beauty shop for 2 hours about what we thought about life and morals and that kind of thing that made me say, you know what? Okay, well, I don't know about going in business, but as a person, she's a good person because talking to her, of course you don't know, but just talking to her and her ideas and her thoughts and the way she values things, I was like, you know what? I'm going to roll the dice. My gut goes with this and let's just do it. And it's worked. But like you said, respect is number one. I mean, it's as simple. If I go in the drawer and take $8, I send her a text and be like, I took $8 out the drawer because $4 is yours. So if honesty and respect, I piss her off, I'm sure, a lot. She pisses me off a lot.
But we talk. We don't, it's not
Y'all don't
like,
hold grudges.
yeah, and it's like we don't go to this person or that person and say,
We
well,
go to each other.
We go to each other. Like, I know, I can probably tell when I'm going to get a text or, like, that's my reality check. She'll text me and it's like, she'll say, like, you're slacking. You're not doing blah, blah, blah. Like, I went through a divorce last year and she always tells me, this divorce nodule is always late. And I used to be always on time, always like, so I be moving slow. Like my life is different now. And she told me, she was like, this new nodule, you're late. It used to be total opposite. I used to be like, where are you? I was staying on her. So it's just like,
And she was used to you being late, so now she got to be
But
on
our
time.
life
Right.
Yeah, our life
switched.
switched. She's more settled, and I'm more like probably coming in hungover or something. Who knows? But it's like.
But there was a time I was coming in
It's like-
hungover and late, and you
Exactly.
got on me.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like roles have reversed, but we say what we have to say to each other. It's not like we don't let it linger on. Like if it happens, she'll be like, "Oh, okay, Najla, I didn't like this, blah blah blah," or I'll say the same thing to her, and it's like, "Okay, I'll fix it." And we
Communication. Communication.
And I noticed that's what a lot of people that are in business, they don't do. They'll keep it bottled inside, or they'll hold a grudge, or they'll, until it turns into them being furious, and then
And it's
they
not
pop
what you
off.
say; it's how you say it.
Exactly.
As well.
That's definitely where the respect comes in at, is because you can't cuss, but we're both women. We both, pay our own bills, take care of ourselves, do what we have
And
to
we
do.
have the same
but-
goal. So it's like,
Exactly.
why fight each other? We have the same goal.
No, that's good stuff.
Cash.
Yeah, the bag. Here in the bag. So your new location, larger, more inventory, more walk-ins. How you feeling? How long have you been in the new location?
4 months. 4 months.
And where's it located?
Fountain View and Westheimer, 2 doors down from Spotlight Karaoke.
Okay, so what's the physical address?
5901 Westheimer.
5901. Check them out. Website.
www.enstyleboutique.com, and that's ENSTYLEBUTIK.com.
So new location, new traffic, new customers,
Correct.
larger space with more racks, more items. So how does that feel? How do you feel about that? You love what's happening right now?
I do. I do.
Yes, I love what I'm loving right now is the diversity of it. Like one thing that we did want to do is diversify our business. So now we're getting older, younger. Like you'll see, it was a lady in there the other day. She had to
70
be at least
maybe.
70. And she told her, what did she tell her husband?
She was getting the same dress as the 30-year-old woman.
She was like, she told her husband, you can go, I'll be here a minute. And she just shopped, and they always say, I love your stuff. So to me, we just wanted it to be black, white, Spanish, Arab, whatever you are, whatever age, whatever it is. We just wanted everybody to like our stuff.
Clothes for any and every woman.
Exactly.
And I think women
And
are
that's
the
what we're
most
getting.
critical of themselves. I never knew that. Women are so
Oh man,
so critical.
y'all definitely talked me into something.
But you look good in it. But
no,
you look
because I
good
was
in
like,
it.
man, because in my mind, I'm always like, well, this is number one. I want a boob job anyway, but I already have too many boobs, so that's the problem. They need to be up to my chin though. But anyway, I tried on the dress and I was like, I really like this dress, but ooh, what I'm gonna do about these boobs? They sagging, and I was like, they really don't look that bad.
They didn't.
And I was like, you don't think so? And she was like, no, they don't. And you were right. I mean, they weren't perfect as I would like for them to be, but we are big critics.
Yes.
Waist ain't snatched enough, legs weren't big enough.
Yes.
But everybody is beautiful in their own way.
Right,
It's just,
true.
And that's why we even started with the shapewear, because we would get a lot of women that would be like, oh, my stomach's not flat enough, or oh, my love handles. That's why we started to sell the shapewear, so that women would be able to put it on under their dress when they try it on, so they would see like, oh, okay, and like the confidence that these women get when they walk out of the dressing room with like.
Yeah.
Like it
makes you feel
makes
good,
us
though.
feel so
It
good,
does make
because
me
it's
feel
just
good.
like they're so excited, Like I had a woman, when was that, last month? She with you, she declined everything that she put in there, and she's a little more forceful than me, because I might be like, okay, you don't want it, whatever. She'll be like, no, try it on, you already in there, I'm gonna bring these 5 other pieces in there for you to try on. And she bought everything, and her husband, like, she DM'd us, like, my husband is like, thank y'all so much, he loved everything that I bought. Like, I'm just, we so closed-minded, because we feel
we
like
get in comfort zones, I think, as women, and we don't want to try other things. And if I can get you in the fitting room, it's not I'm pushing a sale, but you're most likely going to like what you didn't think you were going to like. But you would have never tried it to know you didn't like it.
Just
even
like
when you
food.
show it on.
Absolutely. You're
Like
right.
we have to, we have an iPad now that we show the clothes on, because if you look at it on the rack, it's like, no, I don't want that. But then when you show it on, they're like, ooh, let me try that on.
It hangs different.
Like,
It falls different. It fits different.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, sometimes the hanging doesn't do it any justice.
It
None.
doesn't. It doesn't.
So what do you guys do to relax?
Well, she goes and gets 2-hour massages every day.
Every other day.
I mean, I'm pretty chill. Either I'm at home or I'm somewhere having a drink, smoking.
Again,
hookah.
depends on my life and what's going on in my
Yeah.
life. I think that has a big, but for me, work, I'm not going to say, work is not work for me.
Yeah. it's
So
not.
Enstyle
Yeah,
to
it's
me
not.
is,
Yeah.
I love to go on my Fridays. It's busy. I've got people in and
Good
out.
energy.
I'm a people person, so I love my clients, and I'm not just saying it to sell that. It's like I don't go to work. Enstyle is fun for me. It's like
So you
going to
don't
hang
feel
out with my
stressed.
girls.
Yeah,
It's like going hanging out with my girls,
Yeah.
and they getting dressed to go out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like
me,
it'll
that
be
is
days that
relaxing.
really almost every day. Like my mandatory days are like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Hers are Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. But she's always there when I'm there. I'm always
I like
there.
people.
Like I'm just
Yeah.
like we just show up. Like it doesn't feel like work.
So how does it feel to do what you love? Because a lot of people don't get a chance to do.
I know.
Like you guys love fashion.
Yes.
Y'all both have a different style sense, but you always well put together to turn your hobby into a lifestyle. That's literally what you guys
Yes.
done. You know, you love fashion, and now you can do it every day. Now you can dress other people. How does that feel?
I love it because honestly, that's how we got this far. Is because of our different. I'm more conservative with a hint of sexy. She's more sexy, but it works for us. Like you could probably come in our store and say, "Oh, that." Like she'll send me stuff and say, "This is a Najla piece." I'll send her something like, "This is a Maze piece." Like we know how each other dress, but it works for us because she gives her input. She'll send me stuff that she wants to order. I'll send her stuff that I want to order, and it just goes. You know, like it sells. But for me, I feel like for us to literally be able to in business, you really don't have off days. You're doing something every day that's pertaining to your business. But to have set off days for really like 2.5, 3 days a week and be able to take care of your kids, pay your bills, do what it is that you need to do is like beyond a blessing.
It is.
Like beyond
JJ
a
always
blessing.
harassing me. He like, you know, sorry. Keith, everybody don't like their job. Because he'll call me and like I may be off like 7:30, but I don't get home to 10. He was like, so if you were done at 7:30, why did you stay at 10? We were laughing
and
shit.
talking.
You know, I'm like, and I'm done, but I might be in a room harassing somebody else who's working and their clients. But it really is a true blessing to really enjoy your job, enjoy the people that you're working with and come in contact with.
Yes.
Because everybody, I mean, it's few and far between the amount of people that get opportunity to do that.
Yes. And we've met some really, really good women, like really good people.
And one thing about being in a boutique and being like a variety of women, you meet so many people from different walks of life. So you know, like an expert attorney, doctor. Man, I be using my resources. I'm like, really, like you know, they don't understand that Rolodex is deep.
Yes.
And you hear a little bit of it's like the barbershop.
Yeah, it is.
Like
exactly.
We
That's
hear
exactly what it's
everything
like.
in there
It's
about
like
the husband, the
barbershop.
dog, the kids, the surgery.
All the
I mean,
good
I get
stuff.
to know some of my customers really up and
On
close.
the intimate, like the real intimate level.
Absolutely.
So what is next for Enstyle?
I would love to wholesale within the next
Yeah.
year or two to have the boutique, but also wholesale to all the other people that want to open on our corner.
We get so many DMs, so many messages like, do y'all wholesale? Do y'all wholesale? And to be honest, I would love to open up another store, but I don't think that that's our mindset because it's not that we micromanage. It's just I like to be there. I like to, because it's our brand, I don't want to like put people in another store in another city, and that's pretty much their store because they're gonna run it and they're you know how whatever their customer service is like, it's gonna be like that. But we're so used to us being there and people knowing. We have people that only come in on the days May's work because they vibe with her. People come in only the days that I work because they vibe with me. Like people will text, "Are you at work?" No, they won't come. You know, but that's fine. I know that you're still gonna shop with me. It's just we have our own personal relationships with our customers. So before we go and open up another store or something of that sort, I'm like her. I would much rather wholesale, manufacture, like design pieces, stuff like that, but not necessarily open up something.
Wholesaling.
I mean, we tried the beauty bar.
Oh yeah,
The hair, the lashes, the nails, that lasted a year. I mean,
but when you're not in that industry, it's like
nobody's gonna watch your property like you.
But I just think, you know, with being an entrepreneur, we have to try things. Everything is not going to be a success.
Absolutely.
Like I went to Cyprus for 18 months, and believe it or not, it really was a success. But it was too much wear and tear. It was going against my business model. If that makes sense. My business model was to work less,
Correct.
not more.
Correct.
And I found myself being a worker instead of a boss. I'm like, this is not what you were supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be setting up where other people are working. You know what I mean? And my mom and I, neither one of us wanted to move to Cyprus.
Yeah, I didn't want to come out there.
We
by
didn't.
me.
We didn't.
No,
But somebody
nobody
needed to
wants to
be.
come out there.
Somebody needed to be in the area though, like live there. Because
Yes.
when I would get off work at night, it would take me 55 minutes to get home.
Yes.
Get off late. So it didn't work. Was it a failure? No, it wasn't.
It just
But
didn't work.
it just didn't work. You know. And so we have to realize that, let people know it's okay. We do have things that we try that aren't quite successful.
And I think that's where we were at. Because
Yeah.
so many people came in. Okay, well, now I have this dress, but where do I get my hair done? Who does your lashes?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, hold on.
One stop shop.
Correct. When that space went available, I was like, okay, again, Najla, sit down. This is what we're going to do.
But it made sense. It
made sense. So we were able to open the door, but we didn't fail at it at all. I mean, at all. It worked. It just didn't work for us.
Right.
It's not our industry,
We've
so it
never
just didn't
dealt
work.
with different stylists, button heads, and all that, and we're not there every day to like monitor it and
Referee.
manage. Exactly. So
Right.
we getting this text complaint, it's just like, oh, whoa, it's not making me enough money.
Because y'all used to
deal with
harmony.
this. Yes,
Harmony
exactly.
over here. It's chaos over
And
here.
Exactly.
musicians are
Oh, it's a different breed,
when
baby.
booth rent
yes.
is ready to
it's
be
a-
due. You
oh,
don't
it's
see
a
them for
whole
about
different-
3 days.
It's a whole different group of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get your hairstylists together, your engineers together. Them two completely.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Two completely
Correct.
different groups. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you
sharing
for
with
having
us,
us.
being
Thank
very
you for having us.
transparent.
Oh,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
I've learned something today.
What'd you learn?
But the value of partnership,
Oh,
like
yeah.
seriously.
Yes.
I think it's so easy for me and my mom because we mother and daughter. But just I learned some nuggets for future partnerships and things. Like I'm actually gonna call Ashonda and apologize to her because I've been a butthead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Icon. But so what I'm saying is learning. What you can do differently. So I learned a lot. Seriously. Thank you guys so much for sharing.
Thank you.
And I'll be back again next Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.